Hi, Russ here. Welcome back to my shop. Sorry for that interruption. This is part two of my panel saw that I made. Part one got interrupted. I don't do editing, or I would take this part and actually just join it back to that and continue on. But I don't do editing. So, you're going to have a part two. I was cutting this saw, this board with my horizontal cutting. And let me finish to explain that as I get most of the way through, when I reach the other end, there's another clamp on that end to help hold my track saw in place. And quite simply, I can take my track saw, and when I reach this end, I just pause for a second, take the clamp off, and I finish my cut. And everything should stay put. As I was coming down through here, I would have put a ice pick in on this styrofoam. I would take another one and probably stick it right here, right in the curve. Excuse me, right in the curve to hold this board up. So when I go through and make the final cut, it isn't going to come down and pinch my blade. And so then this piece I immediately will take loose and pull off. So now that's how you would do a horizontal cut. And it's that simple. So when I'm done, I can put all my clamps away, take my track and put it back where I store it, in my lumber rack. Take my little pieces off, and now I can take this piece of plywood and put it back in my lumber rack, and it's now theoretically going to be 32 inches by 8 feet. And I put it away back in my lumber rack until I'm ready to cut another piece off of it. So, now, let's get this back in place here. Full sheets are a pain in the butt. So now, later on, I'm going to cut another piece. Now, though, I have a piece there that's 16 inches. I've actually made that cut that you just saw twice. And what I have left is I want to cut that piece up and make another vertical cut to make it shorter. So, let's bring that back up here and let's make another cut on this board. So, before I start, I don't want that board to be all the way down here. Let's bring that up higher. That's why I put these other bench dog holes in here. So we're just going to take all of these and move them up to the 2 foot mark. From the 4 foot to the 2 foot. And then I can bring out my board. Now I'm trying to take this board and cut this on my chop saw or on my table saw. It's still too big. This is still the best place to cut it, is on my panel saw setup. So now I can set this up. I have it raised up higher to make it more comfortable. If I wanted to, I could actually raise it to here. Instead, and cut it here. So it doesn't matter. I can put this pretty much anywhere I want along here. So it's nice having the varied places to be able to do this. So, so if I want to cut this piece now, if I'm ready to cut this piece, I can just take my track saw, whoops, and let's adjust the T. Now I can put this on here, and if this line right here is where I wanted to make my cut, I would probably just push this over here so that I have one here and one here, and there's 2 on this side of the cut. So I have a good stable setup. Now, this is hanging out here a little way, so I'm going to take this clamp and actually just clamp it to here. And that'll help hold this a little more stable then, and I don't have to worry about it. This is my anchor side. So on this side, I'm going to push those in so I can slide this over. And then I slide this in here, and now this is now ready to do a cut. And again, take my clamp, and let's put it right there. And as I make my cut, as I exit, it'll take that clamp and push it off out of my way. So that'll help hold this in place as I make this cut. So this cut is also pretty easy to do too. And wherever I'm going to make this cut as to how I would set these up. And just like when you're doing other cuts. So you can cut a big piece that's too big for your table saw still. You can do it on your panel saw. Again, you can set this up so fast that you can cut just about any piece. So that's it in a nutshell, how this works. Why I did dog holes instead. Makes it a little easier to put on and take off. Also makes it easily adjustable for my height, for my work surface. And it works very well. The only other thing I want to tell you is that my track saw is a little heavy. It makes it a little difficult to use on, especially on vertical cuts. Horizontal is no problem at all with the track saw. But when I do my vertical cuts, I actually prefer using my small Ryobi saw. And it's so much lighter, easier, and it's so much easier to get in here and use it. So I can use this a lot of times, like on this piece. I can just use my construction square and my saw and make my cut using this. So, but I want to make a track for doing vertical cuts. So it'll be a 4-foot long track like that. And it'll house this saw so I can do that cut. And it'll be a T thing so that I can move it anywhere along the board and lock it down and use that with that saw instead of my track saw for vertical cuts. Because that saw was just much easier to hold and maneuver. Other than that, I think I'd have to call this a done deal, and it's pretty successful. And I'm going to be using it just like it is now. I don't think I have a whole lot else that right offhand I want to change. If I do make major changes, I'll let you know. So if you have any ideas about changing this, you should tell me. I'd really like to hear that. So I'm always looking for new ideas to work off of. So I want to thank the guy that originally asked me to do this in my last video about how to cut a piece of plywood in a small shop. And that's what kind of got me started back down this road to finally get this thing done. So I'm glad to have it here. If you like this video, come on, say it. You like this video. Don't forget to hit the button. Anyway, most importantly, I want to thank you for stopping by. Sorry this was a two-parter. Never had this happen before, but it works. Hopefully you'll be able to get everything between the two. And please, come back again, because there's going to be lots more before we're done here. See ya.